What is going on, gang? My name is Kinsey Ray. I'm coming to you live from Salt Lake City, Utah. It is Mental Health Monday, so I want to answer another question that has been flooding my inbox recently. I have a video right now going crazy viral on Instagram, and so it's brought a lot of people into my network. So if you're new here, hi, hello, say hi. Hey, Casey, how's it going? What's going on, Brenda? Always love connecting with my new followers. And a lot of people have been asking me how I was able to have confidence around my scars and not be afraid to show my scars in public anymore. And so I wanted to just answer this and tell a little bit of my story in hopes that it can help someone who's struggling with maybe scars from struggling with self-harm, maybe scars from an accident or a surgery, or any other insecurity or flaw that you might be just not feeling super confident in. I think that's very normal, that when we have flaws that we're embarrassed. What are people gonna think? Am I allowed to show this? Is it gonna make people uncomfortable to see this? And we really get in our head and we end up hiding ourselves from the world because of something that we might feel insecure about. So that could be stretch marks, it could be cellulite, it could be scars, it could be anything, right? We all have our own insecurities and things that we don't love about ourselves. And for many years, I absolutely hated myself. I hated the scars on my legs. I hated what I had done to myself. So I hope this can help. If you know anyone who's struggling with self-harm, struggling mentally, definitely share this with them. You don't have to tag them, but you can definitely share this with them, and hopefully it can help someone who's feeling a little bit insecure. So, like I said, I hope this adds value to people who don't even struggle with self-harm. This concept of us not loving ourselves because of our flaws and not loving ourselves because of our past. My phone's gonna die, so let's plug that in. I think it's a big issue. And so if I can give you guys a gift of confidence and just living out loud despite your insecurities, despite your flaws, loving yourself fully, flaws and all, man, what a great gift. That was the best gift I ever gave myself. So a little bit of my story, if you guys are new here, like I said, I've got a lot of new people in my network. So hey, hi, hello, how are ya? I struggled with self-harm 15 years ago. So I went through my struggle with self-harm when I was a teenager. I have hundreds of scars up and down my legs, and it was a huge insecurity of mine. I had so much hatred and so much self-loathing for myself after doing that. I feel like that self-hatred for myself post self-harm was even worse than my experience of going through self-harm. I just had so much shame, so much embarrassment around it. And then to top it all off, about 6 months after that struggle with self-harm, I got scouted to be a model. I got scouted to go be a professional model. And so I went to the casting call, I went and showed up, and they pitched me the dream of being a professional model and walking on runways and being a bikini model and being in magazines and being on billboards. And I fell in love with that concept. I was like, oh, they think I'm good enough to be a model. This is gonna be amazing. And then I remembered what my legs looked like. Shoot, I was absolutely crushed. I was crushed because I thought that I had ruined my chances of this dream before I even really got a shot. And I was like, when my parents find out what I've done, when this modeling agency finds out what I've done, like there's no way I even have a shot at this. Models don't have legs like mine. Models are supposed to be perfect, right? It's a perfect industry where flaws are not accepted. And so I was absolutely devastated about just what I had done. But I signed with this agency anyway. I told them what was going on. They still signed me on. And I had this dream in the back of my mind for 5 years. But I was very insecure about my scars, and I was very nervous about being able to do this. And so if you guys don't know, I did go on to have a professional career as a model. I worked in LA, I'm on billboards, I'm on magazines, I've been in music videos. I had a very successful career for a decade as a model, despite the scars on my legs. So you guys might see this very confident, very happy, successful person now, but it wasn't always that way. Because for that 5-year period from my struggle to self-harm before I showed my scars publicly, I look like Angelina Jolie. That's probably one of the best compliments I've ever gotten. Thank you. I hid for 5 years. I didn't show my scars for 5 years. I wore long pants through the summer, jeans, sweats. I did not go swimming. I didn't go boating. I didn't do summer activities. I hid. There was a very small amount of people that knew about my struggle with self-harm and knew what my legs looked like because I was so embarrassed. And I made myself miserable. I mean, think about it, wearing jeans through the summer, sweats through the summer. I bought what is called Derma Blend, that really thick makeup you can cover tattoos with. I put copious amounts of makeup all over my legs. I did anything and everything I could to hide the scars on my legs because I was so embarrassed. So if that's you right now, I said, whether it's scars, stretch marks, cellulite, whatever insecurity, you are doing the most to hide it from the world. Doing the most to make sure nobody finds out you are not perfect. To make sure nobody knows that your past is tainted. To make sure nobody knows that you've made a mistake. And you are using so much energy to hide. I hope after this video I can give you a little bit of hope that you can eventually set yourself free. Because it was exhausting. It was exhausting to hide. It was exhausting to try and cover up all the time. It was exhausting to pull down any skirt that I wore, because you guys haven't seen my legs, from my hip to my knee, it's covered in scars. And so if I ever did dare to wear a skirt that went to my knee, I was constantly pulling my skirt down. I was constantly, can anyone see? Did anyone notice? What are people gonna think? It's exhausting to hide yourself. It's exhausting. And so I just got to this point after 5 years of this hiding and pretending and trying to make sure nobody could ever know what my past looked like. I finally was done. I finally got sick of it. And I said, I am so sick of hiding. I am so sick of not enjoying my life. I am so sick of living in fear and shame and embarrassment and not enjoying the summer and not wearing the outfits I want to and not living a normal life. Why? Because of this self-imposed prison I put myself in. I put myself in this because I was so afraid of people's judgments. I was so afraid of what people would think. I was so afraid to put myself out there and have the world stop and stare and judge me and point and say, what's wrong with you? You're a freak. I can't believe you did that. I was so afraid of what people thought that I lived my life hiding. And one day I just got sick of it. One day I was so sick of hiding. I was so sick of it that I decided I was done. And so how I got the confidence to go show my scars to the world and quit hiding is I went to Las Vegas. And this is going to sound so silly, but what gave me the confidence to wear shorts for the first time in public was Las Vegas. And I said, okay, I'm going to go to Las Vegas. Everybody's a freak in Las Vegas, right? I was like, if I could fit in anywhere, it's gonna be in Las Vegas. People are just weird there already. So I went to Las Vegas and I was like, all right, Las Vegas, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wear shorts in Las Vegas and it's gonna be okay. I was nervous. I was so terrified of what was gonna happen. So I remember I was in Las Vegas and just the fact of just being kind of where people are weird anyway, I was like, okay, I think I can get away with it here. And I was willing to test the waters. And so I'll never forget, I put on shorts, we walked through the hotel. I was just absolutely just nervous, just very self-aware, people looking at me, what's going on, is anyone gonna stop and point and stare? And I was most nervous to go outside of the hotel where there were a lot of people, traffic and the whole thing. And I walked outside and life kept going on as normal. I expected traffic to stop. I expected for people to stop and stare. I expected for people to go, oh my gosh, there's a freak. Oh my gosh, look at her. What's wrong with her? Do you see her legs? Oh my goodness. I expected the whole world to literally stop spinning because I dared to wear shorts with scars on my legs. I dared to show my past to the world. I expect everyone to be so worried and concerned about it that the world would literally stop spinning. Nobody cared. Literally, nobody cared. The person who had been judging me the most for the scars on my legs was me. That was the person who had been judging me the most for 5 years. It was me. I was judging myself the most. And I hid for so long because I was so scared of other people's judgments and other people's opinions and what other people would think or say about me because I made a mistake when I was 15 years old. And it turns out the person who cared the most was me. It was a self-imposed prison I put myself in for no reason. And sure, I've had people stare. Sure, I've had people ask me what's wrong with my legs or what happened. Sure, I've had some mean, very sad humans on the internet say awful things to me. Absolutely. But guess what? The amount of love and encouragement and positivity and people that have told me I've made an impact on their life and have told me I've given them confidence to go wear shorts, go live their life out loud, not be ashamed of their stretch marks or scars or cellulite or other insecurities, that far outweighs any negativity that has ever come my way. Far outweighs it. Because you will never inspire the world by pretending to be perfect. Spoiler alert, none of us are. Let's just take that pressure off right now. You will never inspire the world by pretending to be perfect. You will inspire people by how you deal with your imperfections. So quit hiding. Quit trying to pretend like you haven't made a mistake or that you don't have any flaws, because it's not real. We all have a past. We all have insecurities. We all have stuff that we aren't perfect and that we don't love about ourselves. And the sooner that you can just say, I'm not perfect and that's okay. This is just a part of me and I'm going to go keep on living. I'm not going to let this part of me that I don't love dictate the rest of my life. And that's what I did for 5 years. I let this piece of me, this tiny, tiny blimp in my big life, dictate how I showed up. And once I said I am so done letting my past dictate my future, that's when I finally set myself free. I thought my scars had to dictate the rest of my life. I thought I had to hide for the rest of my life. I was 15 years old when I struggled with self-harm, and I'm 30 years old now. So for 5 years, from 15 to 20, I hid. And that was the biggest waste of time, biggest waste of energy, biggest waste of my mental capacity and what I thought about. So if I can give you any encouragement, set yourself free. Quit trying to hide from the world. You are perfect and beautifully made. And it's okay if you've made a mistake in your past. And maybe your mistake you don't wear on your skin. Maybe it's a mistake in your heart that you're still ashamed of. And you're not living to your fullest potential because you're worried people are going to find out that you made a mistake. Some people wear their mistakes in their heart and some people wear their mistakes on their skin, but whatever mistakes are in your past, it does not define your future. And if I'm here to remind anyone of anything, it's that. Your past does not have to define your future. Because the girl with hundreds of scars all over her legs, she went on to go be a professional model. She went on to be a bikini model and won an international bikini contest. And I'm on a billboard and in magazines and in music videos. I walked in New York Fashion Week. Despite the scars on my legs, that's living proof that your past does not define your future. It's literally your decision of what you do with a bad situation that happens to you. We all get dealt a shitty hand. We all have bad things happen to us. That's life. That is the human experience. And it's up to you if you're going to let that thing dictate how you show up for the rest of your life, or if you're going to allow that thing to help you become who you're supposed to be and go do and be everything that you want to be despite that hard thing, despite that failure, despite that mistake. And the choice is yours. The choice is absolutely yours. And so if you're out there hiding your greatness, your magic, and everything that you are, stop hiding from the world. Because I promise there's going to be more people that love you for being flawed and imperfect then there's going to be people that don't love you for it. The positivity always outweighs the negativity. And you never know who you're going to inspire with your story. You never know who needs to hear how you walk through that fire first so they can follow your lead and get through the darkness and get to the light. So I wish I could say the first time I wore shorts, it just got instantly easier and I didn't care what people thought anymore. That's not the case. But just like building muscle at the gym, it took time, it took repetition. because I was still very insecure about my legs. I still would wear shorts or skirts or bikinis and walk into a room full of new people, and I would say, oh, who's gonna judge me? Who's gonna look at my legs? Ugh. And I was still very self-aware, but with time, as I kept just saying, you know what, this is who I am, take it or leave it. Yep, I got scars on my legs, but I'm gonna keep showing up. Yep, I'm not perfect, but I'm gonna keep just living my life and showing up as myself. The less and less I cared, the less aware I was, the less I'd walk into a new room and say, oh, who's gonna look at my legs today and realize I'm not perfect. It was years. It was years of like developing this confidence in myself and proving to myself over and over again that nobody cared. People weren't staring. People are so concerned about what people are thinking about them. I promise you they're not worrying about you as much as you think they are. We're all so worried about what everyone's thinking about us. We don't have quite the energy that we think to go worry about what other people are doing. It's a really funny catch-22. But with time and repetition of just continuing to show up, it doesn't even faze me anymore. I don't walk around in a bikini thinking, oh, who's looking at my legs? Who's seeing my scars? I just wear the bikini now. I just show up now. I just live my life now. And it wasn't a wear shorts once and it all went away. Absolutely not. It takes practice to love your flaws. It takes practice to feel confident with your insecurities. But the more that you practice it and you practice loving yourself despite your flaws, knowing that any flaw or insecurity makes you you, makes you who you are, the easier and easier it gets. So realize you have one life. You got one life. And do you really want to spend it hiding? And so for my breaking point and what just gave me the confidence to just go for it, I didn't want to get to the end of my life and realize that I spent it hiding. And I guess, you know, what was a pivotal moment for me, and, you know, my Vegas story, my sister had passed away about 6 months before that. She died at the age of 26. And losing my sister taught me a lot of perspective about life. It's short. It's so short. And so you might as well go live it however the heck you want to. And so seeing her life get cut so short gave me the confidence to go live my life out loud and go show up unapologetically flawed. So quit apologizing for your past. Quit apologizing for who you are, because I promise any mistake or flaw or insecurity that you have, it happened for you. And as hard as my journey with self-harm was, and as hard as it was to be okay with that and heal from that and have confidence in my flaws, I know it happened for me because now I'm able to use a platform to help guide others through the darkness. And I hope that's what this message does. So definitely share this with someone that you know is struggling. I hope this helps give you confidence to just go live your life out loud. It's not easy. It's not easy to have confidence in your insecurities. It's not. But it's also not easy to hide. It's not easy to live a life of shame and embarrassment. Pick your hard. They're both hard. Right? It's up to you. You can decide. You can live the life of hard, of shame and embarrassment and hiding and spending so much energy just trying to hide this piece of you that happened. It happened. You can't change it. Or you pick the hard of practicing to love yourself, practicing to be confident, practicing showing up flawed and not being sorry for it. You can choose your hard. Both are hard, and I've done both. And I will take the hard of loving myself and my flaws and living out loud, knowing I'm not holding back in this life, because once it's gone, it's gone. So hopefully this was helpful for those of you asking me, and definitely let me know in the comments if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you guys have around this topic, and just hope to bring awareness that this is a big problem and that you're not alone, even though it feels like it, and you can heal, you can love yourself and your flaws, you can get better, you can go live a life full of love and happiness and fulfillment, even with a season of darkness in your past, even if you've made mistakes. There is still life of happiness and love available to you, and that is my message for you, and I hope it finds the person that needs it. Your past does not define your future. Be the change that you want to see in the world. I love that. So if you guys have not messaged me yet or hit follow, definitely follow me. I'd love to connect with you, hear how I can help you on your journey and your goals. Definitely share this if you got value from it. I know someone out there needs this message so they can stop hiding and go live life more fully and confidently in 2023. Because life is short. Go live it, baby. So my name is Kinsey Ray. Thanks for coming to hang with me today. I hope you guys have a phenomenal rest of your week. If you're in the U.S., happy Thanksgiving this week, and we'll chat soon.